Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens, Deputy Commissioner of Operations with Pennsylvania State Police. With me is Major D'Ambrosio over to my right, the area commander for this area of the Pennsylvania State Police. Also, I'm joined by District Attorney Deb Ryan and also Rob Clark from the U.S. Marshal's Office. As you know, on the morning of Thursday, August 31st, inmate Danelo Cavalcante escaped from the Chester County Prison. The investigation into the escape is ongoing and is being conducted jointly by the Chester County District Attorney's Office and the Pennsylvania State Police. After the escape was detected at approximately 10 o'clock that morning, a county employee reported seeing an individual matching the description of Cavalcante south of the prison and near Route 52. Numerous law enforcement agencies searched that area but could not locate Cavalcante. The escape investigation and search was originally coordinated by the Chester County District Attorney's Office with assistance from the Pennsylvania State Police and numerous other local, state, and federal agencies. With much of the effort now focused in PSP primary coverage area, District Attorney Ryan has requested PSP to take a leading role in this investigation. We have agreed to do that and, of course, continue to work closely with the District Attorney's Office as we move forward. We continue to bring more technology and personnel to bear on this situation. Since the day of the escape, there have been several credible sightings within an area bordered by the intersection of Route 926 and 52, north on 52 to Parkersville Road, southeast to 926, and west to the intersection of 926 and 52 in Pocopson Township. In total, there have been 4 sightings within that boundary. The most recent credible sighting occurred yesterday afternoon, also within that bordered area. We have secured that area and continue to actively search it. While there are a number of challenges, we are confident that if he is in there, we will find him. We are asking for the public's help in a number of ways. First, familiarize themselves with the photograph and description of Cavalcante. There is every reason to believe he remains in this area. Second, within the secured area I have described, as well as near there, we are asking residents to check on their neighbors. If they're not at home, please let us know so we can check their property in their absence. We know that we have numerous homes within the search area in which we presume the occupants are away for the holiday weekend. We have been checking the exteriors of many of those homes, but as they return, if they find anything disturbed, please stop and call us so that we can check it out prior to them going through the residence. Third, please check your home security cameras and call us with anything suspicious you might observe. There's been a tip line established, and we can be reached at 717-562-2987. 717-562-2987. All tips, of course, will be fully investigated. We also remind everyone that a reward totaling up to $10,000 has been offered for information leading to the capture of Danelo Cavalcante. I wanted to say a couple of things to the community as well, if I could. First, you may be hearing a message that's being broadcast from a helicopter or from cars in the vicinity of that perimeter that I talked about. One of the things that we have done is we've had the individual's mother make a recording asking him to surrender peacefully. It's done in Spanish, or actually Portuguese, and it's being broadcast in an effort to facilitate his peaceful surrender. Secondly, we're also asking the community to avoid the wooded area or anything outside of the immediate area around their homes in that perimeter that I described. As I said, we're actively searching that area. We're certainly not trying to lock anyone down, but we want to keep residents as safe as possible while we thoroughly search that area. So again, we ask them to refrain from that area. And I'd also like to thank the community for their support. You know, this has gone on for a couple of days now. I know it's stressful for the community, but I want to assure you that all of us up here and our respective offices are working diligently to bring this to a conclusion as quickly as possible. Please know we are devoting all available resources. We're constantly identifying additional needs, We're making sure we bring those in, and we will resolve this as quickly as possible and as safely as possible. With that said, we'll be happy to take questions if any of you have any.
For the most recent sighting, can you just describe a little bit about what he looked like? Has he changed his appearance at all, and what was the nature of that sighting?
The appearance was very similar to what we've described, perhaps looking a little more worn and tired, but a very brief sighting, and it was a trooper actually that observed him in some distance, gave chase but was unable, because of the terrain and some other obstacles there, was unable to get to him before he disappeared.
Where did he run off to, or can you just give a little bit more?
It was all within that perimeter area, but I don't want to be any more specific than that.
Can you elaborate on what makes it a credible sighting? Is it all visual, or are there video components to any of it?
One was a video sighting that I believe you have all seen. We've analyzed that video. The others are not video, but after extensive interviews, we believe them to be credible sightings.
Do you have any reason to believe that he's being assisted by anyone out there at this point?
I wouldn't want to comment at this point. We'll, of course, explore all avenues, and that's always something we look for, but I wouldn't want to go into anything more right now.
Can you confirm he broke into a house?
I'm sorry?
Can you confirm that he broke into a house and stole food? We're hearing that.
We can confirm that we have investigated actually 2 burglaries. The evidence is still under analysis at this point, and so I can't confirm that it was him, but they are of interest to us.
So is that why you're telling people, because after this holiday weekend, like you said, people haven't been home, so is that really what you're stressing to people to make sure?
Well, not only because of those 2 instances, but we know that that he is going to be looking for a means to sustain himself. He's going to need clothing, he's going to need food, and just to get in out of the weather. It's pretty hot out there. I'm sure he's looking for some better shelter. So for a lot of reasons, we would be concerned about where he might hide.
Did you dispatch any of your troopers to Waterline Drive for one of those apparent burglaries where?
That's within the search area, and yes, we have investigated a number of things within that search area. I don't want to get any more specific than that.
Obviously, it's been 5 days, so he needs to sustain himself in some way, whether that's food, water, as you mentioned, finding some kind of shelter. Talk to me about when you're looking for someone who is in a desperate situation right now, what are those things that you're taking into account in terms of his needs at this point?
Well, from experience, there are a lot of things that we'll consider, but certainly you have to keep in mind, he's stressed right now. Imagine any one of you being placed in a situation where you may not have had a chance to pack, you don't have things with you other than what you're wearing, and you don't have cash, you don't have a credit card, you don't have any other means to support yourself. You're going to be desperate, and that's the situation he's in. But it's also why one of our practices in how we conduct these types of investigations and manhunts is that we'll continue to push him hard. I intend to stress him. I want to push him hard. He'll make mistakes. He'll show himself. He's already shown himself, we believe, a few times. We'll contain him, and we will eventually catch him. We will do it as quickly as possible. Obviously, it takes time. He is desperate. He does not want to be caught. He has very little to lose at this point.
With school starting up soon, will the search efforts impact any bus stops for children? How should parents kind of deal with that along with?
So I'm going to defer to the school districts to communicate that information out. I can tell you that we have been in touch with the State Department of Education, having discussions about this, and also the district attorney has been in touch with several of the local superintendents. We're going to have another discussion later this afternoon. Ultimately, the decision rests with the school districts. We can provide them sort of the latest picture of what's going on in their areas, and then we ask them to make that decision and communicate that out to the parents.
Have you authorized the use of deadly force to apprehend him?
Yes.
Elaborate a little bit more on that.
If he is not actively surrendering, deadly force is authorized.
This is for Deb Ryan. Have you completed your investigation into the prison break at this point, or are you still reviewing?
Mike, our goal right now is to find this man and capture him. So we are channeling all of our efforts to bring him into custody. That is secondary, that is certainly a concern, but at this point, all manpower has been executed to find and hunt down this fugitive.
But it's been 5 days, how can you not explain how he escaped?
As I indicated, our focus right now is to capture this fugitive. He's a dangerous person. We will be able to update our investigation with respect to what happened at the prison at a later date.
Right, but I mean, obviously the question is, like, could other people also escape? I mean, is there something, you know, at issue with the prison where somebody else could pull this off?
They have been looking into what happened, and they are investigating what happened. I'm not at liberty at this point to share with the public what is going on with respect to that investigation. The prison is very aware of whatever vulnerabilities they had, and they have made efforts to correct those
To
vulnerabilities.
clarify, you know how he escaped, and you're just not saying, or you just don't know yet?
As I indicated, we are working on the investigation with respect to the escape, but our main focus right now is to capture this fugitive.
Because you confirmed Friday that there was another escape 2 months prior to this. So
Yes, there was.
You did confirm that.
That's correct.
2 months prior?
I believe it was in May of this year.
Okay, so that's not 2 months prior.
Well, we interviewed a neighbor who said that he was in his shed, somebody who escaped a couple months ago.
I think we're talking about the same suspect, yeah.
Can you
Does
confirm
this
about the
guy
talking
seem
to
like
the-
he had a plan at all? Or was this I mean, it doesn't seem like he knew where to go.
At this time, we don't know, Mike, and we're conducting that investigation
Can you
currently.
elaborate on talking to the superintendents? Because we've talked to, all of us have talked to so many neighbors, right, who are apoplectic, I want to use the word, just so upset,
Yeah.
right? Can you talk to them about, you know, they're saying they're not getting a lot of communication. They don't know what to do. They are having guns by their side, like literally so upset. Can you just talk to them about what is going on and how you can allay their fears? Or what they should
Absolutely,
do?
and our main concern is with the residents in this community. Of course, we want to make sure that they are protected and kept safe. We have been in communication with the superintendents. We have been sending out reverse 911 calls to the residents in a 2-mile perimeter. So they're getting updates that the rest of the community outside of that area are not getting. So we're making every effort to be in touch with them. Regarding the schools and how we want to operate moving forward, we have a call this afternoon to talk that out with the superintendents. But like Colonel Bivens indicated, it's going to be a decision that the school districts have to make on their own, but we're going to provide them with all the information that they need to make an educated decision on that.
What would you like to say to the neighbors, though, if they're scared?
I understand that, and I want to say that we are doing everything in our power to get this guy, and people are working round the clock. I understand their fears, but we are doing everything. We are bringing in all the experts in this area. We have the top men and women working round the clock to bring this man to justice, and we're not going to stop until he's captured, and we hope we're getting closer.
And if I could just jump back in here, thank you. With regard to the neighbors, the people in this area, I want to assure them that we have a strong presence there. They are not on their own out there. We have people close by. If they hear or see anything, call us. We will be happy to come check it out. They don't need to go outside and check out a suspicious noise, or if they hear something in their homes, we'll take care of it right away. We're close by. It's not going to take long at all to have somebody there. So we're happy to do that. And again, please know that we are doing everything. We ask for their indulgence of the heavy police presence, but that's one of the ways that we can, as best possible, assure their safety.
Is there anything that people should be avoiding, any behavior that they should avoid? As you mentioned, don't go out into the woods, but this is a holiday, obviously, you know, people have family get-togethers, family reunions, et cetera. Should they be staying inside and kind of canceling everything that they had already planned?
No, we're not asking people to do that. There's been no indication that he poses that kind of a threat to anyone in those neighborhoods. He doesn't want to be caught. He doesn't want to go back. Now, could he be desperate and do something? Sure, but we don't have information to suggest that anyone is at risk for going out in their yard. What we're saying is to avoid interfering with the search, you know, avoid those wooded areas. And again, that's a fairly small area, maybe a mile and a half across. The rest of the area, we're not even asking people to avoid the woods. It's within that perimeter area that we've set up that we're just asking for those, not even restrictions, some cooperation to make our jobs a little bit easier.
Which is all within that 2-mile radius from the Chester County Prison, this whole area that's on lockdown. so to
Yes.
speak. And then, again, the use of deadly force, is this shoot to kill on sight, or if he doesn't actively cooperate?
Well, the term is not shoot to kill. It's deadly force is authorized, and it's if he is not actively surrendering. We do consider him to be a very dangerous individual. He is convicted of homicide here, was involved in, I'm told, in another homicide in Brazil some years ago. It's somebody that we think poses a threat and needs to be taken out of the community, needs to be incarcerated. He has the option to surrender. That is what we hope he will do.
Will he be returned to the Chester County Prison if he's apprehended?
We'll discuss that at that point in time, but what I would tell you is that I can assure you that there will be secure measures put in place that he won't be escaping again. And so whether that's at another facility, that's something that we'll be discussing with the district attorney and also with the State Department of Corrections.
Are the troopers going home to home searching to see if he's in one of their homes? Or we heard from some neighbors that they've allowed the troopers to go in and search.
They have been, and so again, we ask their cooperation. So you may see a trooper in that area or somewhere close by knock at your door and ask some questions or ask if they can come in. And again, it's simply that they're trying to make sure that we have thoroughly searched that entire area, that residents' homes are secure.
Can we hear from the U.S. Marshals in terms of what your role is right now?
Sure. I think Lieutenant Colonel Bivens summarized everything perfectly. Our role is to support the Pennsylvania State Police. They are the lead investigator in this investigation, and they come with much experience of these woodland manhunts. We've had numerous manhunts. I think the most recent was in Warren County just a couple months ago. So we're bringing the best of the best assets out here. Their CERT team, their Special Emergency Response Team, is well trained. They're here. Our professionals from the Marshal Service are here as well. And our position is that Danelo Cavalcante's desperateness will not outlast the resolve of our investigators here. And that goes for the state police, that goes for the Marshal Service, our state and county local investigators. We're all on the same team. And like Lieutenant Colonel said, we will get him, we'll push the threat, he'll make a mistake, and we'll bring him into custody.
So outside that 2-mile radius, you're an expert, you've done this many times. Longwood Garden is open. I'm not sure if Westchester University made a decision yet. Should people outside the 2-mile radius not be as concerned, or what do you say to people outside that 2-mile radius?
I don't think we're there yet. Like the Lieutenant Colonel said, our efforts are focused on that 1.5 to 2 mile radius and inside that inner perimeter. There's been 4 confirmed sightings, so we're not ready to sound the alarm outside of that radius yet. All of our efforts are focused inside, and until we exhaust that or we prove that he's escaped that 2 mile radius, then we can talk about maybe what the public should do outside. But our efforts are all concerned inside that radius.
I mean, a lot of residents are saying, like, how is he still not captured? You have the U.S. Marshals, like, you guys are the experts on this. There's troopers out there. The 2-mile radius is so small. Like, can you just talk a little bit about, like, where could he be? Like, is he in a tree? Like, you know.
When you talk
what's
about a
going on?
2 mile radius, you got to remember this is a 5-foot tall gentleman, 120 pounds, and this is a heavily wooded area. It's very thick back there. There's a lot of hiding spots. There's a lot of ravines back there, and we are an expert in fugitive investigations, but the Pennsylvania State Police are experts in incident command, and I think that's why Lieutenant Colonel Bivens is here. There's nobody better in the agency than him, and I guarantee you that if he is here, that his troopers, along with our investigators, are going to be able to find and locate him.
Is there enough out there that he can actually sustain himself for an extended period of time between water, fruits, anything of that sort?
Is there enough resources out there? I don't know. I don't know what he's obtained. I'm no expert on what's edible out there, what drinking water he's using. From the video the other night, we know he had a backpack on. One of the questions is, where did he get that backpack? So when we say homeowners who are coming back from the shore, check your belongings, see if anything's been disturbed. Are you missing a backpack? That could fill in some voids for us. So as far as sustainability on the land, I'm just not sure. But a man is desperate at this, anything's possible.
Are there any plans to release the recording that was not,
To release the recording
the broadcast recording?
to the media?
Yeah.
Not now, there's not. We're utilizing it for our investigations, so that was broadcast, like the Lieutenant Colonel said, through the helicopter yesterday and through patrol cars, in hopes that perhaps, as desperate as he is, maybe he has a change of thought, and here's his mother telling him to surrender, and his family cares about him. He's desperate, he's hungry, he's been in the woods, he's dirty. Perhaps this is what puts him over the edge where we can get a peaceful surrender.
Is his mom in Brazil?
She is.
That's my follow-up question. I know it is in Portuguese, but can you tell us what his mother is actually saying to him?
I don't want to say verbatim. She's just encouraging that his family loves him and that she wants him to surrender. And that's what our hope is as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.